recording. This poem was recommended to me by a friend. It's by Monica Youn, or Youn. Actually, let me start over. I don't care. If they don't like the way I pronounced it, then I'll just delete this and remake it. But I only do what's fair. Detail of the Rice Chest by Monica Youn. Also, this isn't a poem, by the way. Okay, I'm actually not that judgmental. I respect prose. In the 2015 Korean film The Throne, the rice chest sits in the center of the vast symmetrical courtyard. Um, mm, mm, Give me a sec. Changyaeong. Shut up. Changyongyeon Palace. Changyongyeon Palace. Changyongyeon. Oh, okay, I see. Changyongyeon Palace. In the 2015 Korean film The Throne, the rice chest sits in the center of the vast symmetrical courtyard of Changyongyeon Palace. The film is called The Throne in English. In Korean, it's called Sado. Screw you. A Korean a Korean-speaking audience would presume to know in advance who Prince Sado was. An English-speaking audience presume not to have this knowledge. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Although this is a historical film, for a Korean-speaking audience, the well-known story functions as mythology at the level of the hell. That's not how English. That's not how a train of thought works. Although this is a historical film, for a Korean-speaking audience, the well-known story functions as mythology at the level of. I'm just gonna ignore that. For an English-speaking audience, the unknown story functions as narrative at the level of plot. Well, I guess I should probably just go watch the movie. There is an I in this poem. I know who Prince Sado is. I can read the Hangul word Sado, but I do not speak Korean. I am a member of the English-speaking audience. I know about Prince Sado from the memoirs of Lady. Alright, so it's fair to assume, as they said in the other video, it's best just to not bother unless someone wants to help. And since no one wants to help, I kinda don't care. I know about Prince Sado from the Memoirs of Lady H, 1804, but I know about the Memoirs of Lady H from Margaret Drabble's The Red Queen, 2004. Margaret Drabble's The Red Queen is about Lady H, but Lady H was never a queen, nor is she associated with the color red. The name is, of course, it's misleading. The name is misleading. The name of the film, The Throne, is also the name of the film, The Throne, is also misleading. The film does not focus on the throne; it focuses on the rice chest. Well, of course, it's all about misdirection. The name of Like a magnifying glass, the stone courtyard focuses the gaze on the rice chest. The gaze increases its intensity and heat. July temperatures in Seoul averaged 84 degrees Fahrenheit, with average humidity of 78%. I have been to Seoul in July. I have worn hanbok on a summer day, but only once. Hmm. It's a bit generic and it's a bit broad term, but I guess we paint with a broad brush. I have never seen a rice chest. The rice chest is a functional object and stands in contrast to the highly decorative architecture of the palace courtyard. Its plainness renders it inscrutable, impenetrable. According to the website Hanji Happenings, the solid rice chest was generally made of pine, but never decorated, as a reminder of the importance of its presence in the home. I've had just about enough of people putting significance in anything other than other people. I've had just about enough people putting significance in other things instead of in other. It's like my one pet peeve. If I cared, it, people overvaluing tradition. Where was I? I learned from that statement that in Korean culture, to be decorative is not to be important, and conversely, that to be plain, inscrutable, is to be important. I do not know whether this is true. Interesting. According to the book, things kind of who the hell titles a book Things Korean? And why would you reference it like that? You seem to be a very conflicted person. Torn between multiple cultures. I guess it's to be expected. Wait, is that just a picture book with a bunch of Korean things? This world makes no sense at all. This world makes no sense at all. This world makes no sense. This world makes no. This world. This world. This world. This world. This world. This world. The rice chest always looks chock full. I'm just making up problems that. I'm gonna drive myself crazy again. Always looks chock full. That isn't. Why would you? busy. I'm trying to do a reading. When it, let me check the. I get it. I get it. You're a very conflicted person, torn between multiple identities. I understand. I do. I just want to understand more, I suppose. But chock-full is a very colloquial term. Not to say that you can't eat. I'm just saying, like, it just speaks to your character. I'm, that's all I'm saying. It just feels like it was just kind of tossed in there. This is supposed to be poet. I gotta stop judging people for no good reason. Etymology. 1400 Grenfell, Germanic, Middle Dutch, Modern French. Alright, that's enough. That's enough of that. There are always those four pillars at its corners, which seem to be holding up a massive roof, as if this were some imposing religious edifice. Because of its oversized lid, the rice chest appears top-heavy, charged. Okay, I need a picture for reference. Was there a picture at the top? Alright, let's look up Korean rice chest, and I'm probably breaking some sacred traditions by doing this, but I kinda don't care. Hmm. There are always those four pillars at its corners, which seem to be holding up a massive roof, as if this were some imposing religious edifice. Because of its oversized lid, the rice chest appears top-heavy, charged with kinetic potential. With four small feet, it seems to be crouching on its haunches, to be hunkering down. Hunker down is a Scottish term that refers to squatting on the balls of one's feet, low to the ground but in readiness. Is that what that actually means? I think I've been using that wrong for a while. I thought hunker down just meant to go to ground. Listen, I'm questioning your use of the word and the way you use it. I'm not questioning whether you had the right to use it or not. So, I'm just judging you because I'm an asshole. Nothing personal. Hoka, hokrack to crawl. Interesting. Nasalized barring of a Scandinavian word. Oh, what does Merriam-Webster have to say about that? Lower the body to the ground by bending the legs to stay in a place for a period of time. That's what I thought it meant. That's the way I've been using it, but it looks like, as always, there's another meaning because words just get taken and reused. It's literally the only purpose of words to be taken and misused eventually at a later point in time. It implies an apprehensive stasis, tense with the potential for sudden movement, poised to. No, you're just filling space, you idiot. No, 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 no. Hunkering down means that yes, you could move, but it's less about or at least in my opinion, hunkering down is less about being prepared to move at a certain point in time, or just understanding that where you are is currently safe. I don't know. I have hunkered down, but only once. Must be cognizant of other people's journeys and struggles and self and developments. I must be cognizant. I must be cognizant. Midway through the film, the rice chest is bound with thick rope, with a knotted webbing of 4 or 5. Do not. I hate you. I hate. I hate you. Thicknesses of coarse fibrous rope. The quantity of rope exceeds the function of the rope. Oh my God! Shut the hell up. Midway through the film, the rice chest is bound with thick rope, with a knotted webbing of 4 or 5 thicknesses of coarse fibrous rope. The quantity of rope exceeds the function of the rope to such an extent that the rope binding seems decorative, symbolic. I have been bound with rope, but only once. Is it? God damn it! I said I'd read it. I said I'd read it, and I'm reading it. So I'm throwing the ball right back into your court. There is something almost comic about such an. I'm going to punch you. If I see you, I'm going to punch you. There is something almost comic about such an excess of rope to bind a single imprisoned and dying man, the way there is something almost comic about a circle of guns pointed at a single unarmed man. I say almost comic rather than actually comic because, although these images provoke the same pent-up tension as suppressed laughter, I do not know who would find either of these images funny. After it is bound, the lid of the rice chest is heaped with grass. For a Korean-speaking audience, the grass-covered rice chest would resemble a traditional grassy burial mound, would evoke ancestral tombs, or even the prehistoric dolmens, which featured massive rocks perched on 4 small feet. There we go. That's a vocab slam, as they say. Finally. Some freaking food for thought. This type is single-chambered megalithic tomb, usually consisting of 2 or more vertical. Just shut up and show me a picture. Cool. Bye. Which feature massive rocks perched on 4 small feet. I have seen the grassy burial mounds of my ancestors, but only once. For me, the rope-clad, grass-covered rice chest resembles a barbarian idol. According to online etymology dictionary, that's right, this isn't the 90s anymore. It will be soon enough. The word barbarian originally comes from the Greek meaning any non-Greek and carries a derogatory connotation for those who speak a language different from one's own. Let me read that again because I missed it. According to the online etymology dictionary, the word barbarian originally comes from the Greek meaning any non-Greek and carries a derogatory connotation for those who speak a language different from one's own. So, wow, that's kind of fucked up. When I say barbarian, it means I find the rice chest foreign and inscrutable. Jeez. Yeah. Jeez. Yep. We're here now. We need fucking an intervention or a revival or something. Does no one feel at peace with their own identity? Because I don't know. I should probably keep my mouth shut. When I say barbarian, it means I find the rice chest foreign, inscrutable, although it is Korean. Koreans speak a language different from my own. In the film, shut up. In the film, the walls of the rice chest are made of thick planks, with chinks between them that emit slim shafts of... Don't disconnect me, shut up. In the film, the walls of the rice chest are made of thick plank. That better be recording my audio, Twitch, I swear to God. Thick planks with chinks between them that emit slim shafts of light, drips of water. What? What? But the walls of Korean rice chests are made of solid panels of wood. Planks with chinks between them would admit pests, especially insects, into the rice chest. Such a design would not be functional. Planks with chinks between them would admit pests, especially insects, to the... This world is so stupid. This world is so stupid. This world is so stupid. Such a design would not be functional. Partway through the film, we see a multi-legged insect enter the rice chest through a chink between the boards. We... Stop messing with me. Oh my god. Stop messing with my head. Read the poem, she said. It'll be fun, she said. You're a piece of shit if you don't read the poem, she said. Whatever. I'm here. I'm reading it. Because I am a good person. Never said you weren't. Yeah. Sure. This means nothing. This will continue to mean nothing because nothing means everything. Fuck. Okay, no, still connected. Okay. No, I need a drink of water, you idiots. I'm grabbing a bottle of water. Could probably make some rice and fried eggs later on today. Is it today or tomorrow yet? Can't remember. It is today. Today it is today. Alright. Let's see. Partway through the film, we see a multi-legged insect enter the rice chest through a chink between the boards. We here refers to both English-speaking and Korean-speaking audiences. The single insect is followed by a horde of identical multi-legged insects wriggling through the chinks in the walls. We understand the insects to be a hallucination of the dying Prince Sado. Their function is symbolic, the danger of allowing chinks into the walls. Trying to say something? Because I understand pain. I understand forced isolation. I understand. This is just the same game. It's the same game, with a different name. In the film, through the chinks in the walls, Prince... Is this the originate... Is this where this No, of course not. Of course not. That'd be too simple. No, no, it has to be some sort of sobbier backstory. But if I don't try, I'm an actual bad person. If I don't try to understand, I'm an actual bad person. And if I do try to understand, I'm just impeding the flow of hate. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Alright, let me go back. Their function is symbolic, the danger of allowing chinks into the walls. In the film, through the chinks in the walls, Prince Sato is able to see and to speak to his dog and to his 10-year-old son, the Grand Heir. But in fact, these incidents never took place. They are not hallucinations, but fabrications of the filmmakers, just as multi-legged insects. The chinks in the walls of the rice chest are fabrications of the filmmakers. Well, this is the main reason. This is literally the only reason that I went to college, is to become a better film producer. Because I just noticed that, like, hey, you made two Amazing Spider-Man movies, you know, and you fucking killed Gwen Stacy in the second one, and you didn't make a third one. So clearly, there's some sort of breakdown within management about like what was going to happen eventually. I don't know. I just don't like people. I don't like seeing people give up on their dreams. I don't like people saying half-assed things. I just wanted to make a big show of it. That's all. Anyway, enough about me. The chinks allowed the chinks allow the gaze to penetrate what would otherwise be impenetrable, to penetrate the inscrutable, barbaric figure, to penetrate the inscrutable, barbaric figure of the rice chest, to reach the human inside. Okay. In A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is familiar to both Korean and English-speaking audiences, Tom Snout, a rude mechanical, plays the part of a wall that features a crannied hole or chink. Alright, moving parts here. All I got is all I need. That's fair. Alright, let's break this down. The fuck is a rude mechanical? Who the fuck is Tom Snout? And who the fuck cares? I guess I care. I guess I have to care. Because my middle name is Carrie. So I have to care a little bit. Kind of obligated to do so. The skilled laborers. Oh, so fuck you. I understand that. Part of a wall that features a crane. What kind of character? Tom Snout plays a part of a wall. Oh, okay. Are you? It can't be this. It can't be this simple. It, it, it can't. It can't be this. Am Am I the asshole for telling people to get over themselves and stop latching on to one word? Am I the asshole? Fucking grow up. Like, it's like, okay, I understand, but like, I don't know. Listen, you can say what you want. Either the animosity is there and you'll hide it, or the animosity isn't there and you won't have to hide it. But it's not the word that bothers me. It's the enmity. It's the enmity that is very present. Enmity, right? That's the right word. Trust me. It's not the word. It's not the letters that bother me. It will never be the letters that bother me. It's the latent, the implications that you assume to understand me before I even allow you an opportunity. Yeah, yeah. It's the enmity I can sense. But I don't know. This fucking planet. This fucking planet is so full of itself. So comfortable with the way things are. The joke is that a human being portrays an inhuman object, since only an inhuman object would feature such a chink. Only an inhuman object would feature such. The joke is. The, the joke is what? The joke is that a human being portrays an inhuman object. Oh, okay. Okay, but what's the deal? You wrote a whole poem. You wrote a whole poem about I guess a botched retelling, a botched. I get it. They fucked up the culture. Now what? Is is that it? Are you just gonna like complain about it for another? Just do what I usually do. Just put on some light jazz music and just crunch through. Am I allowed to listen to fuck you? No, I want to go onto YouTube and look up a jazz live stream. Yeah, I think that's the one I like. This is whatever. The joke is that a human being portrays an inhuman object, since only an inhuman object would feature such a chink. I do not know who would find this joke funny. I don't even get the joke. When asked to show me thy chink, Tom Snout holds up two fingers, the index and the ring. I have seen boys hold up two fingers. Calling me a chink, they would place their. Oh. Mm-hmm. 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 Calling me a chink, they would place their two fingers at the corners of their eyes. Well, excuse you, I'm just fat. So, like, anytime I smile, it makes. Is that insensitive? Probably. I wouldn't know. I don't have friends to tell me otherwise. Yeah, I understand. Oh, did I not read it out properly? Let me read it out properly in case you think I'm trying to avoid. In case you think it's making me uncomfortable, because it's not making me uncomfortable. Calling me a chink, they would place their two fingers at the corner of their eyes, stretching their eyes into narrow slits through which it must have been difficult to see. They found this joke funny. I have seen men hold up two fingers. Ugh. Okay, okay, I get it. I get it now. Or at least I see the. I don't care. I have seen men hold up two fingers, They would use their tongues to penetrate the chink between their fingers, rendering the gesture obscene. The tongue thrust between the fingers reads as sexual, whereas an out thrust. Why are you reading into this so much? Oh my god. Why are you reading? Stop reading into it. Okay, they're just assholes and, actually might need some sort of fucking retribution. But I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know. This is my planet, though, so we're gonna find some sort of solution. I don't know. This is what bothered me about the whole sticking up your middle fingers in the front to God. Okay, well, so it must have been a Christian then that chose the whole. Do you see where I'm going with this? Who sits down to agree upon like what gestures are obscene and what gestures aren't obscene? Like, why do you give them the time of day? What I get it. They might corral you, accost you, harass you at some point, a point in time. It's just I don't understand why you care so much about someone who hates you. Someone who just genuinely hates you. Why would you give two shits about the gestures that someone who couldn't care less of you, like, unless they're like directly in. Oh, holy crap. Why? I get it because it's a system that exists that you just can't get away from. It's just something you have to face, something that you're forced to face, and something that you just can't escape no matter how hard you try. Or I'm just pontificating because I just like the sound of my own voice. The tongue thrust between the fingers reads as sexual, whereas an outthrust tongue without the fingers would be merely rude. Neither gesture is intended to be funny. Well, if it's not funny, then it's a threat. If it's either a threat or it's fucking not worth thinking about. Both the boys and men would use their fingers to symbolize my body, a body that, without a chink, might seem impenetrable. The primary meaning of the English word chink is a split or crack, a narrow fissure or valley. It derives from the same root as germ, as in germinate. The connection being in the notion of bursting open, as the online etymology dictionary explains. I thought we were here to read. Okay, shut up. Chink also has a racially derogatory. Also has a racially derogatory meaning. Chink also has a racially derogatory meaning, referring to a Chinese person, or, by extension, to any East Asian person, since an English-speaking person using a racially derogatory term would not be expected to differentiate among East Asian peoples. Well, I'm sorry that the racists aren't racist enough or aren't racist in a socially acceptable manner. Let me talk to the racists and maybe we can work out some. Sorry. I have asked boys to differentiate among East Asian peoples. Upon being called chink, I would say, "You're so stupid. I'm not a chink. I'm a gook." keep going, she says. Shut up. The fuck is a gook? Why? Why do you care so much? Why does it bother? derogatory term for people of Asian descent. So another umbrella term. I don't have to do anything. You guys will kill each other. I don't have to do anything. You guys will kill each other, and that'll solve my problem of achieving peace and quiet on this earth once more. Because you guys pick the stupidest reasons to fight. You guys literally sit down and meet, okay, if you call me this, I'll kill you. No, 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 I'm not this, I'm this. It can't be this easy. It can't be this easy. Ignorant fools. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? The Korean, sorry, that's kind of disrespectful. I'm trying to do a nice thing here, or at least, the bare minimum. This is the bare minimum. I'd like to do more, but I kind of require, encouragement to do that. So I just, I do function on negative attention, but like, I do appreciate some some kind of, appreciation for this instead of just, hi, you're not a piece of shit. Here, carry this. Here, carry this. Carry my burdens. Carry my by the time I get to people, they're just so broken down, just so world wearied. I don't know. I do not know. But as long as I'm alive, I have to keep trying harder. That's the promise. The Korean-American comedian Margaret later used a similar statement as a punchline to a joke. I find this joke funny, and some members of a Korean-speaking audience might find this joke funny. I do not know whether other members of an English-speaking audience would find this joke funny. Alright, Margaret you're up. Margaret I get it. Like, I'm supposed to just... We're due for a cultural reset, so I have to, like, mess things up so that people can start from zero again. I get that. Whatever. I'll do my job. I just have to show people that, hey, just try a little bit harder, please. Or don't. Or don't. I kind of don't care. I've cared way too much for too long. I've cared way too much for too. I've cared way too much for too. I've cared way too much. I've cared way too much for too. I've cared way too much for too long. For this fucking bullshit. I did not come here to hear you make excuses. To hear you make excuses. Alright. Well, I actually am familiar with Margaret Cho's work, and I'll be sure to watch one of her stand-up routines later on today. Because I fucking feel like it. Because I fucking feel like it, and I'm putting it into my watch later playlist as we speak. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, I watched I watched a little bit of Fresh Off the Boat with my family. It was alright. I don't know, dude. I really don't know. Well, there's no link to that, but I'll watch. I'll be watching. The term gook was used by English-speaking soldiers. Well, there's your problem. Soldiers don't give a fuck to refer to Korean people during the Korean. I think I don't know. This is never going to work. This is never going to work. I should just give up right now. It's a zero win game. There is no success. Why is it taking me this long to read? Just one fucking phone. I should actually just try harder. It was later used by English-speaking soldiers to refer to Vietnamese people during the Vietnam War, since English-speaking soldiers do not differentiate among East Asian people. Now, English-speaking soldiers, are you referring to American? I'm just saying that's a little broad is all. I'm not picking holes. I'm just assessing. The term gook may derive from the Korean word American miguk. Yeah, that's what's wrong with this world. First contact is bullshit. First contact is always bullshit. First contact. That's the first crack in the it's a simulation. Simulation, and I just have to break it. It's just a simulation. If I can break it, then we can fix things. And I can clearly break it. I can clearly break the simulation very easily. So it's just a matter of breaking it down to its base components and then restructuring it. Please don't tell me. Please don't tell me that's where his name comes from. I like to speak directly with someone instead of just looking on the internet because, you know, I'd rather actually converse with someone with some personal experience. Well, okay, why do I think someone... Alright, so who do I trust then? Absolutely no one. Yeah, that's an easy question. Absolutely no one. Someone pissed off enough will tell me the right way to do it. Right? Hearing Korean people say this word, English-speaking soldiers thought the Korean people were calling themselves gooks, miguk, and followed suit. Yep, the whole manzanas mananas bullshit, or maybe not. That's probably transliteration. Is that the technical term? Mestizo. I don't care. Meguo, which also means beautiful country. Chinese characters make which also mean beautiful country. I know how to pronounce Meguk, but not. Well, oh my god, just try harder. Just why do you Okay, so this sentence right here. I know how to pronounce Miguk, but not Megua. Just ask someone. Just ask. Why are you making this such a big deal? Why can't you just ask someone who knows? I have the internet. I can find the answer very quickly. There are several accounts of why. Okay, and this is the problem here. This is the problem here because if Megua, because if Meguk is a transliteration of the Chinese characters Meguo, which also mean beautiful country, and it's appropriated to mean American, then if anything could mean anything, then anything means anything. And this is why when people have the choice to assume whether something is meant hatefully or with respect, they immediately default to hatefully. Oh my, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Listen, listen. Oh, I know you're listening. That's the point. There are several accounts of why Meguo came to mean American. Well, several accounts. I'm sure they're all correct in their own right. Some claim it's a simple phonetic approximation. Others claim that. Don't fucking disconnect me, I'm busy. Others claim that Meguo was selected out of several possible phonetic. You're just reiterating the same thing. And you're just wasting my time. You're just wasting my time! 19th century American missionaries then made official in the 1901 Boxer Protocol after China's defeat by 8 foreign powers. I do not know. Then why write that in the first place? Just a waste of words. All commentators. Listen, I said I'd read the poem. I just need to read the poem. All commentators seem to agree that neither Korean people nor Chinese people literally believe that America is a beautiful country. But both Korean people and Chinese people must call America beautiful in order to speak its name. Neither Korean people nor Chinese people refer to themselves as cooks or chinks. Yeah, it just might be the isolation talking, but no, I don't care. I don't care because you don't. Well, I don't care because you don't. Well, I don't care because you don't. Oh, fine, then I guess I have to care. Neither Korean people nor Chinese people refer to themselves as Korean or Chinese. Well, I mean, that's fair. Korea is an English word. Yup. Seems to derive from mispronunciation of the name Goryeo Dynasty by Silk Road traders that was first recorded by Marco Polo. China is an English word that seems to derive from mispronunciation of the name the Qin the Qin or Qin dynasty by Silk Road traders that was first recorded by Marco Polo. I have said Marco Polo's name many times, and again that requires you to say his name many times. I do. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stop doing this. Stop pontificating. I. You. It is. You wrote. You made this in 2015. You could have. Just being difficult for the sake of being difficult. Just being difficult for the sake of being difficult. Just being difficult for the sake of it. It's understandable. It makes sense. It's relatable. Don't think about it too much. I have called myself a chink only once, when a white high school friend used the term in conversation, then stopped, realizing her gaffe. Don't worry, I said, I know what you mean. blank is such a fob. What's a fob? She said. Fresh off the boat, I said. I may be a chink, but at least I'm not a. Like, and this is the problem. You diminish yourself because you feel that you have to. Like it's the only way to survive. We laughed together to relieve the tension, although I do not think either of us found my joke funny. It's not a joke. I used the term FOB to show that I considered X to be foreign, a barbar. Just like the book I read. Um, just like that book I read, where you sold out the newer guy to save your own skin. Well, shouldn't have done that. Oh, me. I'll always take the lead. You kick me down to the low road. I'll take the low road, and I'll walk you down to your death. That's not a threat. That's just keep your promises. That's not a threat. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is if you stepped on somebody to get to where you are, best believe I'm bringing them with me. I was supposed to do fantasy football with my bud. He should have messaged me, but he didn't. Two-way street. I used the term FOB to show that I considered X to be foreign, a barbarian. I called myself a chink to make myself seem more American. That's that's not American. That's the opposite of what America stands for. I understand that, it may threaten your life to exist the way you want to exist, but like, what else are you gonna do? Die? Can you live with yourself? That's the only question I'm asking. Can you live with yourself? Because if you can't, then die. Fresh Off the Boat was my white husband's favorite television show during the time we were married. When we watched it, I hoped that laughing at the pushy Chinese immigrant mother on the show would lessen his dislike of my pushy Korean immigrant mother. Okay, I, it's a decent sentiment. It's a very human sentiment. I'm pretty sure that's just human nature. But what do I know? I'm not human. I hope that allowing my white husband to treat my parents as endearingly foreign, fresh off the boat, like the endearingly foreign TV family of Fresh Off the Boat, would make me seem more American. Yeah, that is a problem, isn't it? That is a problem. Is life like TV or is TV like life? And if TV becomes what's reality and what's reality TV? It all breaks down. And, at this point, we should have been in an all-out war, but tearing each other's nuts off because it's that's apparently better than thinking these things through. But what do I know? I'm just a fucking asshole trying to avoid culpability. Well, I don't even know if that's how you're supposed to use the word culpability. I wouldn't know. I don't have friends to tell me otherwise. Ooh, friends. These sound like such good friends. These sound like friends worth keeping. These sound like real keepers. None of the actors in Fresh Off the Boat are. Well, of course they aren't. Nearly all of them were born in America, but pretending to be foreign, they make English speaking. Okay, and now I remember the actress that cried when they were getting the show renewed. just pain. This is just pain with extra steps. It's an endless cycle of pain. 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 By pretending, my parents are not fresh off the boat. They have been in America for over 50 years. They speak both Korean and English. And the box allows us to put people inside it. The television is sometimes called an idiot box, from the Latin for private person, from the Greek idios, meaning one's own. But those inside the box have no privacy. We put the inscrutable into a box so they may be scrutinized. I made X inscrutable. I put X into the box. I made my parents inscrutable. I put my parents into the box. I decorated the box so that it seemed foreign, barbaric. I made the box inscrutable so it seemed like a distant ancestor. I buried it so it seemed like a grave. I made a chink in the box that the gaze could penetrate. I stayed outside the box. I treated what was inside the box as a joke. I was the English-speaking audience. I watched Fresh Off the Boat on the idiot box. I watched The Throne on the idiot box. In The Throne, a parent puts his son in the rice chest. After the son's death, the rice chest is forced open. After the son's death, his mouth is forced open. 3 spoonfuls of rice are forced into his mouth, rice that might have kept him from starving to death in the rice chest. After the son's death, a name is forced into his mouth. The name is Sado, a name which has meaning for Korean-speaking audiences. I have said Sado's name many times. The son never calls himself Sado. There is never a chink in the rice chest. No one could see into the rice chest. There is a you in this poem. You are a member of the English-speaking audience. I let you see into the box, into what is private, into what is foreign, into what is inscrutable, into what has been buried. I am the chink in the box. I see. I see. No, no, we are not the same. We are not the same. We are one in this. How do I say it? How do I say it in a way that you might care to understand? Something, something, look at me. Something, something, don't mess with me. Do not mess with that which I honor. I don't know. It was a nice poem, and I learned absolutely nothing but what I already knew. Oh, for more information, look up Monica Youn on Google. It's this search engine you might have heard of. I don't know, dude. It's kind of dumb. Yeah, all I will say is that if you feel that strongly about what you feel you must honor, then honor the hell out of it. Because if you don't, I will. And you might not like the way I honor things. Yeah, thanks to my friend for recommending that I read that poem. It I asked to connect and I was presented this opportunity, and for that I am grateful. Thank you.